welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends, to the review of the Harry and Meghan reality show. In today's video, we begin to look at episode number 2. Just when I think it couldn't get any worse after episode 1, they proved me wrong again. I have a lot to say about the first 2 minutes of this episode, so let me get to it. It was recently reported in the New York Times that the director, Liz Garbus, started filming in November of 2021. Episode 2 opens up with this frame. They want us to know that it is in New York and that it was of November last year. Immediately you know that this is staged because they want you to hear what the driver is saying.
If you can, grab me the lane all the way to the left against the center median, southbound.
Immediately after that, you hear another voice saying they're going to be waiting.
They're going to be waiting. They're going to
Oh yeah, they're camped out now.
So why is this an important detail? It's because they're manipulating the audience again. They want you to think that there's real paparazzi hiding around the bushes. This entire scene was poorly scripted. Harry and Meghan always have their security escort them to the car, and then the security gets into the car to drive with them. So to start off having 2 people already in the car, you know that this was a setup from the word go. So the type of car that we're looking at is the Land Rover that they were traveling in when they were here in November of 2021. And the windows are shaped the same as in the video. So we know for certain that this is a Land Rover. And the reason why this is important to know is because the windows are tainted black, so you can't see inside. So Harry and Meghan enter the car.
Okay. Whee! Hello.
How are you guys?
Matt, how you doing?
I'm well, good morning.
A couple things to note here that are important. Meghan and Harry came into New York November 8, 2021 to attend that Veterans Gala, as well as do the interviews with New York Times Dealbook, as well as that Wired interview where Harry mentioned that he knew about the coup happening on January 6th. This is important to note that this was during the weekdays and that the man with the New Jersey, New York accent had said good morning to the couple. Also note that Harry has a folder in his hand.
Never a dull moment.
Oh no.
So they proceed to leave the garage, and Meghan says something very interesting.
Can you drive this?
Maybe like...
So Harry asks this question about how long it'll take, and you would expect that the driver is the one to answer this question, considering these 2 are not from the area and do not know the complexities of New York City and the outer boroughs.
I don't know now with our detour.
I don't know now with our detour. Like, how would Meghan know that they would have to take a detour? And why would they have to take a detour? They are manipulating the audience to think that they have to take a detour because they're being followed by all these paparazzis, when in fact it could be of anything. It could be a parade that's in the town and they closed off some of the streets, or there was traffic, or there's some roads that are blocked off that you can't turn on because of certain hours, possible construction, or maybe there isn't a very important person coming to town like our president, where they have to block off and close certain roads, but certainly not for these 2. And even if any of that stuff was the case, Meghan would not know this because she's not from New York.
Matt, how long is the drive going to be?
Look before 20-something minutes.
Okay.
And at this point, you have to laugh at the bad acting. Like, why is she hyperventilating? The windows are tinted. Nobody can see inside. You're wearing sunglasses. Like, what's wrong with you? And bless Harry's heart for trying to act. But he also looks contrived and ridiculous.
Let me just double check because I wasn't getting good service.
So right after that, they cut to looking at traffic to make it seem like they were sitting in traffic. But actually, this is stock footage or B-roll. And how you can tell that this is B-roll footage or stock footage is the fact that you're seeing New York in the summertime. People are wearing summer clothes. And also in New York, when it's summertime, the pavement gets hot. So you see these heat waves. So back to the video. So the driver says it's about 20 minutes to where they're going. They want you to think that they're vulnerable because they're sitting in traffic and the paparazzi could come out at any time. Now here's Meghan looking like a fool, looking around at nothing, trying to make the audience think that they're being followed.
Do we have that pap on the scooter again?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we do.
The hired actor / driver goes along with this. And you notice here, Harry's looking at the camera.
Really? Same guy?
Same guy.
Now, this is poorly edited. I almost think that Harry may have been acting and they cut it out because then they switch over to this scene and then the track is actually off where you hear Meghan say, "Oh my God," and you don't see her mouth moving.
Oh my God, how
Watched him go into this park and then,
Is he with us?
yes, sir, he was just ahead.
So now you have the other actor in the car from LA say, "Yes, sir, he's ahead," giving fodder to this fake story. Strip away the music, strip away Harry in the background saying, paparazzi's stalking you, you don't really know it, and you're looking around, and this looks absolutely contrived. And the way that they package this together, they're betting on the average folk who are watching this mockumentary to not know any better and to actually believe this shit. And another manipulation with this is that they were very careful to not show any street signs nor show any type of location within New York and where they were going. And anyone who is not from New York would think that it was taking them a long time to get to where their destination was because of all this traffic and being so vulnerable in the middle of the street because they have to take this detour. Then Meghan throws out this scripted random line.
Yeah, those, the guys in the basement of the building, too, as we were doing that walk, they were recording, too, just so you're...
So far, it's only Meghan talking, and again, the clip cuts, almost as if maybe Harry was supposed to say something, and then they cut it out. This is now twice this has happened.
Where?
As you can see now, it's a different angle. Let's go back to this frame for a second. Remember in the beginning, I said Harry entered the car with a folder in his hand? Well, if you look at his lap here, could that be a script? Let me take you back to the beginning for a second. I lightened this up so you could see better. When Harry and Meghan got into the car, their eyes were fixated on something. And within moments, there's an immediate edit. There, as you can see, Meghan's trying to put on her seatbelt, but I want you to watch the gaze of both Harry and Meghan. They are both looking to the side, and then Meghan does a quick glance again. Harry's also looking in the same direction, and then quickly looks away as if she made eye contact with somebody. Now watch Meghan's eyes. They look at the rearview mirror, and if you notice behind there is a car with lights on. First red flag. This car had its license plate blurred out. They didn't do that with other cars that were randomly on the road. And I know that this is blurred out because it's New York State law to have front and back plates, not just back plates. Harry immediately opens up the folder and starts looking at the paper. Pay attention to the same car with the lights on in the back. Take notice that there's a big gap in space as the car drives away. So where's the security detail? I would think if this couple really had people lurking in the basement, they would have their security detail right behind them, as they did with the rest of this sequence. They had a black Escalade following them, which is their actual security detail. But instead, that same car comes up moments later. What we can tell about this person in the car is that it's a female with dark hair and also part of the tri-state area because they have an easy pass hoisted to its window, meaning that they're from the area. So who could this possibly be? My guess is that it was Liz Garbus, the director, and they were on their way to Brooklyn. Now, why this is a logical guess? Well, Liz Garbus's office is in Brooklyn, and as you can see on this map, it's just a hop, skip, and jump away, which would make sense because it does take about 20 minutes from where they allegedly were if they were downtown. In one of the frames, if you are from New York, then you would recognize that sign that's being pointed to, you might not be able to see it well enough, but I recognize it because you see it in the city. Those are entry points and exit points to crossing a bridge or tunnel within Manhattan. And knowing this and then seeing the next clip, you'll put it all together and you realize that this is all just one act. Everything has been scripted. This was all about just driving around, acting as if they are being stalked, and that's the role that they're playing. And it's quite sad.
I mean, worst case scenario, so safety first.
Like, what stupidness is she ranting about? Did anybody understand that? And Harry's trying desperately to stick to the script because he keeps looking down at it.
Worst case scenario, so safety first. Worst case scenario, we're going from one garage to another. Like, it's...
This is such a joke. Like, she's acting as if they are in the city and they're going from one garage to another, which is not the case. As you can see here, these are clear indicators that they're off the island of Manhattan and are in one of the boroughs, which the only borough that she would have any sort of interest in going to would be Brooklyn, because that's where Liz Garbus is. And for those that are my New York and New Jersey subscribers, Clearly, when you look at this, you know what I'm talking about. Then they added this stock footage. Not sure what they were trying to get out of this with this aerial view, but clearly that's not Manhattan. Clearly that's not Brooklyn either. By the looks of the number on the bus, that route is around the Bronx. So what does that mean? None of this makes any kind of sense. And this final clip is comical because it makes me think that they just went in one big loop out of the city and then back into the city because of the traffic pattern. As you can see, they're sitting in traffic, but on the other side, you see traffic flowing freely. And that happens when you have a weekday and it's a work day where people are coming inbound to the city as opposed to leaving the city. And then they play it off as if this whole trip was going to meet friends. No, this was this was let's drive around and film ourselves acting paranoid so we can use it for our show. How pathetic.
Be with friends in less than 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Shut up, Meg.
Oh.
I'm going to stop right there for this video. I know that this took a long time to go through, but it had to be done because look at the fraud. I will be back in another video continuing my review of episode 2. But until then, turn on your notification bell buttons. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
It was such a fraud.